Good afternoon and welcome to my book talk. I'm Rosemary Szilagyi and this is Critical Assignment 1 for Children's Literature, LAE 4416. For my talk, I chose the book, The Most Magnificent Thing, both written and illustrated by Ashley Spires. I chose a first grade audience for my read, mainly for the theme of perseverance. The story is about a little girl that works very hard and she becomes frustrated and she almost gives up, but she doesn't. She continues to work until she creates something magnificent. The end product isn't perfect, but it's something that she could feel proud of. I think a first grade student could connect well with this theme. The first grade standards are so challenging and students often become frustrated and feel like quitting, but like the girl in the book, they don't. First grade students will love the bright, engaging illustrations. The author is very clever in that it's not a super wordy book, but the illustrations are all that's really needed to capture every detail of the story. The book also covers many of the first grade ELA standards, and it's very easy to integrate a music lesson, art, movement, or even science with this book. Now let's get started. Good morning, magnificent students. Can anyone tell me what that word means, magnificent? Yes, very good. It means wonderful. Today we're going to read a story that's called The Most Magnificent Thing. So really, what does that title mean? It means the most wonderful thing. Let's look at the cover and think about it. What do you see on the cover? Yeah, you see a little girl. She does look about your age. And she's holding something. Can anyone tell me what she's holding? Yes, it's a rolled up piece of paper. Looks like maybe a plan, don't you think? You think it might be a plan to invent something magnificent? Could be. What does she have here? Yes, it is a wagon. And it does look like it's full of all kinds of supplies to create something magnificent. Let's see what happens, boys and girls. This is a regular girl and her best friend in the whole wide world. They do all kinds of things together. They race, they eat, they explore, and they relax. She makes things. He unmakes things. One day the girl has a wonderful idea. She is going to make the most magnificent thing. How do you think the girl is feeling in this picture? I want you to think about it. She knows just how it will look. She knows just how it will work. All she has to do is make it. She makes things all the time, easy peasy. First, she hires an assistant. See who her assistant is? It's her little dog. Next, they gather their supplies. They set up somewhere out of the way and get to work. It doesn't look like she's out of the way at all, does it? She's so busy, she doesn't even notice people walking around her. The girl tinkers and hammers and measures, while her assistant pounces and growls and chews. When she's finished, she steps back to admire her work. She walks around the side. Her assistant examines the other side. It doesn't look right. Her assistant picks it up and gives it a little shake. Doesn't feel right either. They are shocked to discover that the thing isn't magnificent or good. It isn't even kind of sort of okay. It's all wrong. The girl tosses it aside, gives it another go. How do you think the girl is feeling in this picture? I think she looks surprised too. Surprised that her invention is not magnificent at all. So she's going to keep working. She smooths and wrenches and fiddles. Her assistant circles and tugs and wags. When she's finished, she stands up and takes a long look. Her assistant gives it a little nudge with his paw. The thing is still wrong. She decides to try again. Boys and girls, think about how she might feel here. Yes, I agree. She looks like she's getting a little upset. The girl saws and glues and adjusts. She stands and examines and stares. She twists and tweaks and fastens. She fixes and straightens and studies. She is really working hard. She tries all different ways to make it better. She makes it square, she makes it round, she gives it legs, she adds an antenna. She makes it fuzzy, she makes it long, short, rough, smooth, small. One even smells of stinky cheese. But none of them are magnificent. Her hard work attracts a few admirers, but they don't understand. They can't see the magnificent thing that she has in her mind. She gets mad. She does look mad. The angrier she gets, the faster she works. She smashes pieces into shape. She jams parts together. She pummels the little bits in. Her hands feel way too big, and her brain is too full of all the not right things. If only the thing would just work. Yes, she does look angry in that picture. I don't think she's about to give up yet, though. Crunch! The pain starts in her finger. It rushes up to her brain, and she explodes. It is not her finest moment. Boys and girls, take a look. She's stomping her feet. She's kicking the parts of her invention. And I think she looks like she's screaming right here. What else do you notice about her face? Yes, it's turning red. I think she is angry. I'm no good at this. I quit. Her assistant suggests a walk. Sometimes, when we become very frustrated, it's good to take a break. So she's going to take a little walk with her assistant. It's not much help at first, but before long, she starts to feel different. Bit by bit, the mad gets pushed right out of her head. See, the little girl's feeling better. As they stroll along, she comes across the first wrong thing she made. The mad feelings are about to start all over again. Then she notices something surprising. There are some parts of the wrong things that are really quite right. The bolt on one the shape of another, the wheel to seat ratio of the next. There are all sorts of parts that she likes. What do you think she's going to do next? Think about that. By the time she reaches the end of the trail, she finally knows how to make the thing magnificent. She gets to work. She works carefully and slowly, tinkering, hammering, twisting, fiddling, gluing, painting. Her assistant makes sure there are no distractions. That afternoon fades into evening. Finally, she's finished. She alerts her assistant. What do you think she's made? Can anyone guess what she's made? A wagon? It could be. A shopping cart? Maybe. Let's check it out. The pair take a good long look. It leans a little to the left, and it's a bit heavier than expected. The color could use a bit of work too. It's just what she wanted. They climb aboard and take it for a spin. They are not disappointed. It really is the most magnificent thing. Boys and girls, think about that. Do you think her creation is magnificent? Raise your hand if you think it's magnificent. Good. I want you to think about what makes this invention magnificent. Now raise your hand if you don't think it's magnificent. Okay. I want you to think about what she could do differently or what she could add to her invention to make it magnificent. Okay, so expressive engagement with this book, it almost comes naturally for the reader because of how it's written. The illustrations connect well with the characters' feelings, and the author uses capital letters and larger font to emphasize certain words. The capital letters and large font make dramatizing very easy. The author also adds some humorous scenarios that a first grade student could connect with. This actually creates a nice bridge for talking back during the read. Critiquing and controlling is invited at the first sight of the book cover. Children find themselves drawn into the story right from the beginning, and they start guessing what the little girl is up to. Inserting happens as the first grade child finds themselves connecting with the main character. The main character works hard, she's curious, inventive, and she has real feelings that change throughout the story. Taking over happens throughout the entire story. As first graders dive into the main character's adventure, they feel her happiness, her frustration, and in the end, her pride. And they sort of become a cheerleader for the girl in the end. As far as my critical thinking strategies, first up is making plausible inferences, predictions, and interpretations. Students listen to this story and they take in the character's emotions and they watch the process. In the end, they see that she's created something magnificent. We need to ask students, can it be better? Yes. And students see the big picture and make predictions that the girls will maybe enjoy and be proud of her creation for now, but then she'll go on to create something even more magnificent. I also noted that recognizing contradictions could be a source of critical thinking with this book. Students could watch the process, see the results, and discuss why the end product is magnificent. If it really is magnificent, and if not, what could make it magnificent? Noting significant similarities and differences, at the close of the story, the students could look back at all of the different things the girl has made, and we ask questions like, how are these inventions similar? How are they different? This concludes my book talk for The Most Magnificent Thing by Ashley Spires. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.